All right, so moving on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the rumored boxing USA versus Mexico 5-on-5 boxing card. So, these are just rumors and speculation right now, but if you follow the sport of boxing, there are rumors that we could possibly be seeing in the later part of 2024 or early 2025 of a USA versus Mexico 5v5 boxing card. So, my thoughts on this. This is an exciting card, but if the rumors are true of this USA versus Mexico boxing card that we could possibly get, this is a loaded card. And there's dream fights on here of Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. And arguably, both fighters are both in the top 5 pound for pound rankings right now in the sport of boxing. Obviously, Terrence Crawford would have to move up 2 more weight divisions as he's going to 154 now. He would have to climb up 2 more weight divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez. If Terrence Crawford is motivated, he's hungry to defeat one of the greatest fighters of this generation, then give me that fight, because that could be a 50-50 fight. Then I'm looking at it in the super middleweight division. You could have Caleb Plant versus Jaime Mugina. That would be an action-packed fight. Both fighters not scared to get it on in the boxing ring. That would be a huge action-packed showdown in the super middleweight division. Then I'm looking at Shakur Stevenson versus Isaac Cruz. That's a fun fight at the 135-pound division, the lightweight division. You would have Shakur Stevenson's defensive skills and boxing IQ going up against Isaac Cruz's dangerous power. Those 3 fights sell. That would be an amazing card if we could get that. And obviously, there would be some more amazing USA versus Mexico fights on that card. But if we could get that in the later part of 2024, early 2025, that would be great for the sport of boxing. Now, my thoughts on this, why I do believe a USA versus Mexico fighting card could deliver in the sport of boxing, why I am confident a USA versus Mexico fight card could be great for the sport of boxing. Look at what just happened this weekend in the sport of boxing between Matchroom and Queensberry. That card, that 5v5 card that we just saw last night in the sport of boxing was actually great. And it was healthy for the sport of boxing because you're having great talented fighters fighting the best competition that is available for them. That's what the sport of boxing needs. Promoters picking their best fighters. That's what Eddie Hearns and Frank Warren just did for the Queensberry versus Matchroom card last night in the sport of boxing. And even though Frank Warren's Queensberry promotions clean swept Eddie Hearns' Matchroom boxing promotions last night, clean sweep 5-0, and that's what promoters need to do moving forward in the sport of boxing. Work together to make the best fights happen. Don't be stingy. Don't keep your fighters exclusive to your own promotion. Let's share the wealth here. You could have dream cards of a PBC versus Matchroom Boxing. You could have dream cards of a Top Rank versus Golden Boy Promotions. You could have a dream card of PBC versus Top Rank. The list goes on and on, the possibilities that we could have now that the gates have flooded open after seeing Queensberry versus Matchroom that card take place last night in the sport of boxing. And we've seen, even though Eddie Hearns, he's a prideful guy, you know, but he was showing sportsmanship and gave Frank Warren all the credit in the world for his guys beating his guys, clean sweeping them last night in the sport of boxing. And they've already said that they are on board for doing this in the future. So if they're on board for doing this for a round 2, maybe by the end of the year or early 2025, why can't promoters like Al Heyman, Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, who else is out there? Frank Warren getting them. Why can't these guys all work together to make the best fights happen in the sport of boxing? The sport is healthy once again. Let's let it continue to be healthy and share the wealth. Share your fighters around. Everybody's going to be making money if Al Heyman gives Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, they worked together last year with making Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia happen. Hey, Oscar De La Hoya can get on the phone with Bob Arum. Hey, let's make a 5v5 card happen. Your best 5 guys versus my best 5 guys at the respective weight divisions. It can happen in the sport of boxing. So I'm hopeful that promoters work with each other moving forward, and hopefully we get a USA versus Mexico card, because I'm hopeful that we could get that now that we just saw the Queensberry versus Matchroom card take place last night in Sport of Boxing. But those are my thoughts on the rumored USA versus Mexico fight card that is rumored to take place very soon in the Sport of Boxing.